probably Boris Johnson's most significant U-turn yet came on Wednesday when he gave in to Tory rebels and agreed to allow Parliament to decide when ministers could invoke the powers of the Internal Market Bill. Now, this is following a week of resignations and rebellion. The latest high-profile Tory to resign was Lord Keane, who did it on Wednesday. His position had been jeopardised due to the comments that started it all from the Northern Ireland Secretary. Other senior politicians and legal experts for the government complained that they could no longer stick by the bill that broke international law. Boris Johnson himself attempted to defend the bill's measures, but failed at every turn. The original story was that it wasn't a breach in international law, then it was, but it was necessary in order to defend Northern Ireland. I think the moment of realisation came when Boris Johnson sat down in a select committee, glum-faced, as the crazy Brexiteer Bill Cash poorly defended Boris Johnson's breaking of the law by resorting to whataboutisms. This and perhaps the backlash that was expected from the US Congress. Now that Congress told Dominic Raab in no uncertain terms that if this bill went ahead, then the UK could kiss goodbye any possibility of a trade deal with the US. You have to remember, Boris is desperate for a trade deal with the United States before the real pain of Brexit starts to bite, and the Americans have put up this major roadblock. Raab was probably dispatched to sense feelings in Washington, and he was probably given a dressing down while he was there. Boris Johnson on Wednesday evening met with Tory rebels and compromised. This was a major climb down. However, as I said recently, I believe this was more of a Commons distraction than a real threat to the Good Friday Agreement. It's possible that this bill will be put on a shelf somewhere and over the next number of months will fade into oblivion as the focus returns to the possibility of a trade deal. So all is good. Well, not really. The breach in international law that arises from this bill has not been dealt with. It has merely been temporarily defanged. Another serious issue related to this bill is that it may be used to restrict the rights of private individuals from challenging the government in court. The bill also sets up an unelected quango to deal with the so-called extra powers being returned to Scotland. Inverness MP Drew Hendry has said that the Internal Market Bill, which cleared its first Commons hurdle on Tuesday night, would give the UK an effective veto over the Scottish Parliament. Now, Tory ministers in London talking about the bill, which sets up a legal framework for the UK internal market following Brexit, have rejected the idea that it represents a power grab, but instead offers a power surge by handing more powers to devolved governments. The SNP have called the proposed office for the internal market, which would rule any cross-border disagreements between dissolved authorities, as an Office of Inquisition. It's believed that this Office of Inquisition will have the power to pass judgment on devolved laws and could quickly become the target of rich corporate lobbyists determined to see activities such as fracking go ahead, irrespective of what the Scottish people and their Parliament have to say about it. One of the ways to stop Scottish independence has been to strip away the Parliament in Hollywood of its power. This internal market bill is one step in that direction. So while we may be cheering at the defeat of Boris Johnson and this U-turn, it's important to watch carefully how the Tories go ahead with this bill. Regarding Scotland, many Tories have always wanted to end devolution and return power to Westminster. Does anyone truly believe that this is the party that's looking out for Scotland and its people? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?